Hi, welcome to Love Beyond Limits Live, where we question the ordinary and discover the extraordinary. I'm Jenny Crow, and I am here today. We are going to, on our first live session that I'm recording today, we are going to question the ordinary belief that your relationship drama and your fear of it stems from your incompatibility, or it's all your fault, that it's your karma, it's your inner work, it's your trauma. We're gonna question this ordinary belief and then we're going to unpack a very powerful, lesser known sabotage that began right from the very beginning of your life at birth. So I'm going to help you question this shame, blame, and guilt belief that has been passed on to us, that we have been working on for decades. So many of us have done so much of the inner work, yet we still continue to attract situations that do not align with our inner truth. So we get the same kind of relationships, we get the same kind of dramas, we get the same kind of arguments, we get the same kind of disrespect. Well, if you've done the inner work and you still feel like you're still getting this, there might be something more. And that's what I'm here to share with you today. I discovered more. I'm always discovering more. I think I figured one thing and there's another layer. There's another layer. There's always layers. So what I'm going to share with you today, you are here now at the Sacred Union, Egregore and birth certificate. So the Egregore and birth certificate, revocations and declarations. So we are going to revoke the Egregore contracts that have been attached to you at birth, and we are going to declare our I am sacred sovereignty. If you're new to this, buckle up, buttercup, because there's a lot to learn, and you might just be going, oh my God, this is the piece I've been looking for. This is all for entertainment purposes. This is all spiritual. This is not psychological or legal or health advice. Okay, just let's put that out there. So this is not for everybody. This session is not going to be for everybody, but if it's for you, you'll know. So keep watching. If you're here, I welcome you, and I look forward to sharing this information with you. It's come from a long line of work. And I have to tell you before we get started that I have tried to share this so many times in the last 3 weeks. I was going to actually just go live on Instagram, and I realized that there have been so many things that have tried to stop me from getting out there. And when I discover things like this, when it comes to me, because I didn't read this anywhere. This is stuff that was downloaded and came to me. And I've been researching these types of things in other areas. And this one finally showed up for me because I've been trying to get myself free and clear for so long. So yeah, there was a lot. Even when I was discovering this, as soon as I figured it out, the realm immediately started just all kinds of sabotage. One, to try and get me to lose my notes, to make it so that I couldn't get to the library to document it, so many things. But when I knew inside, I'd already known that the clearing that I've already done is so powerful that all I had to do was laugh. All I could do was laugh. It's nice try. Nice try, guys. It's already done. So the thing is, the work that I share is all work that I have discovered and used on myself and integrated. So by integrating it, that means I have gone through many layers of this, and things have surfaced. I've cleared things, I've healed things. And so this is a healing. This is a session that will heal, that can and probably will make changes in your life. So be prepared for that. Okay. If you're here, then you are, if you're going to keep watching this, then I know you're going to be one of these people that is doing the work and is making the changes and wants the changes to work. So I have notes because there's a lot to talk about today, and I decided this needed to be on my YouTube because this is a full healing session that I'm offering, and I could be doing this behind closed doors and charging for it, but this one I want the entire world to have access to, or as many people as they'll let have access to it online, right? Okay, in the session, what are we going to do? So I'm going to do a quick rundown on the free will and participation. I'm going to give you background information on what the heck is an egregore and how does it relate to my birth certificate? I'm also going, and then we're going to, after I've given you a little bit of information, like you basically have to deep dive on each one of these things that I touch on in order to get the full history. I don't have time for that, and neither do you. So at the moment, I'm just going to give you this opportunity to clear if it resonates with you, and you can also come back to it. It's going to be there. It's part of my reference library. So I'm going to do some light language, and I'm in light language. We're going to do a sovereign I am declaration, and we're going to do an Egregore clearing. I'm going to walk you through the steps, and then we'll close the session, and I will let you know how you can work with me if you want to go deeper and you want to know more. So that's the quick rundown. That's the skinny on it. Now let's get into it. Okay, so the sovereign agreement and discernment. So first of all, I'm going to ask you to only take what resonates with you and leave the rest. Enough said. Just take what works for you, leave the rest. This isn't for everybody. There's no pedestals, and there are no gurus in my channel. I am not a guru. I am not the ultimate authority. This is all from my own experience and working with peers and and the studies that I have done. I learned like true Gnostically, like not with association with any group. I've learned directly from source. And then I also work with my peers, and I get at pieces and I put it all together, and I go deeper and I go farther, and I just keep learning. So that's a little bit of that. Boundaries. So that's where I get my information. It's rooted in ancient and modern sciences and sacred spirituality. This is not a medical, psychological, or legal professional advice. Okay, we got that. The lineage and the tools that I'm going to use in this session we're going to, they're reclaimed. Oh, so they're reclaimed through my own remembering, the activations that I've had, direct source communication, and peer collaboration. My sound language, the sound light language that I use is the Golden Dragon lineage. This was activated in my lifetime. I brought it in with me. I was doing it long before I even knew what it was. And what does this sound do? So it literally is an acoustic sound architecture that shatters false matrices and overlays and dissonance. It clears frequencies and realigns with the true eternal sacred source in coherence. It brings coherence. It clears and brings you back into coherence. My role. So my role is as an energy specialist and a peer on the path of this journey. Like, I'm here with you, and I'm here to help you unlock your abilities, to clear the way, and to bring things to you that will help assist you on that journey, and things that you may not have ever thought of or even known to think of. And a lot of this stuff is coming directly to me, so you're not going to find it in other places yet. And my mission and my goal is to help you be wildly freaking successful in your life and in your relationships and for your family and your lineage. This is my deep passion in life. I've been working on this for probably 35 to 50 years. So that's my purpose. The containers. So before this session and after this session, I am create a container here. So it is a very highly vibrational, structured container that I'm sharing with you that is aligned with a true sacred sovereign source only. And all the work that we do goes through the true eternal source. It's not aligned with any entities, any angels that we're channeling, nothing, just directly through true source. And also, when you step into this container, by watching this video and doing the session with me, this is the preparing for it. As you do this work, and you step into this work with me, you basically step into the sacred sovereign container and you leave everything else outside. You do not bring any of your attachments and your entanglements and egregores, any of the stuff. It has to stay outside. It can wait on the curb. You can absolutely pick it up when you go back out. I don't do all those clearings for other people. I don't take on anything. This is an absolutely no entanglement situation. So I make no entanglements, but then you're not entangling with anything else that is connected to this session also. We are all sacred sovereign individuals. Okay. We could probably do a whole session on what that means, but basically all the outside stuff stays outside. You come in as a true sovereign being. And it is at free will. We do not impose upon you or your free will at all. There's a lot of little housekeeping things to share. So thanks for sticking with me. We're going to get to the deep stuff soon in all the clearing and what it's going on. So, yeah, so I honor your free will and your participation. And this is where I ask you now to align. If this is right for you and you are going to align, then I ask you to say you consent. That way you are agreeing that this is only with your free will and your own consent. Okay, let's get started. And I will put timestamps in the description so that people kind of know where to plug back in. If you want to come back and do this clearing, you can come back to it, or if you want to just stop now because if you have any trepidation or you feel like, I don't really know if I should do this, stop. Wait until you're ready. Take a day. Question yourself. Say, hey, what is that? Watch the video intro again. Look into some of what I'm saying, and then when it feels right to you, then you can watch and do this clearing. But there's no pressure at all, and it's going to be here. So here we go into the information. There's a lot to share. I'm just going to try and touch on the subjects, and then we'll just get into it. Because I don't know how long this is going to take. Timelines and the quantum field. There are infinite possibilities of timelines. And we speak into existence the timelines that we are choosing. The densification of what we are choosing comes through vocalizing what we repeat, what we vocalize on repeat. And what these vocalizations are and the densifications are, they're seeds. They are seeds. And so what kind of plants and seeds do you want in your garden? Do you want to plant the seeds of weeds? Or do you want to plant the seeds of nutritious vegetables and foods of nutrition and beauty, right? So the more we focus on the weeds, on the problem, the more we are giving it energy, and we are planting the seeds of that energy that eventually sprout into anchoring these dense energies into our timelines. And they create the timelines, and they also create egregores. So what they do is we're taking a fluid possibilities and we're compressing it with all of this energy that we're giving it, and an egregore is born. And this is what they call thought form entities. Okay? And these entities can be manipulated and controlled by low density beings, low frequency, low vibration, not healthy intentions for us, not for our highest good, basically. And we can therefore end up being manipulated by them. So these things that are as like artificial intelligence, artificial sentience, entities, egregores, basically your thoughts, your feelings, your beliefs, etc. They affect everything. So I know there's a lot in all of that to unpack, but I'm just going to try and touch on this so that you can get some of the pieces to filter into your mind and resonate or not. Okay. So something else that I've learned is the power of strategic apathy. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story. So a year or so, no, it was more than a year ago. It was a couple years ago. I literally was at a turning point where I needed to heal, and the low negativity and the frustrations and the egragores and all this stuff felt like it was eating me alive. And I decided, that's it. I'm done. I'm not feeding the negativity anymore. I'd already studied enough and I knew this stuff. So I knew that where attention goes, energy follows, form follows. Energy goes, form, reality goes. It creates. And I decided, no, I'm not doing that anymore. And I literally would cut people off in the middle of sentences. I was like, no, I can't do that. No, I'm not putting my energy to that, because I am not voting for that freaking timeline. That's it. No. And, sometimes people think, oh, well, you got to be able to laugh at it. It's funny. Well, at some point, some of this stuff just isn't funny anymore. Like, it's kind of toxic. So I decided to start refusing to speak the language of the problem. So I discovered that sovereignty, true sovereignty, is the ability to stop speaking the language of the problem. Like Buckmeister Hoffman said, you do not fight the old, we create the new. And so with this true sovereignty, this is where we start collapsing timelines. This is where we start doing timeline work. This is the process. So when you start using your words to code and create the new reality that you really want, and ignore the problem, not ignore. You don't necessarily ignore the problems. You acknowledge that they exist, but you out-create it. This is our power. Like, they all want us focused over here and focused over there and focused on each other and fighting and like, no. When we know our true power to create, we no longer have the desire or the time and energy to focus on creating the bullshit. We're just giving them more fuel. We're feeding them nasty freaking egregoric spiritual thought forms. We're feeding them. I know it sounds cray-cray, but it's true. And now I also want to tell you that there are natural, healthy egregores. Okay? So obviously equal opposite, right? So when in the laws of nature, when two people come together, when two people's energy come together, you create another energy that is bigger than the two people together, right? It's called synergy, and there's also another word for it. It's called emergence or emergent properties, and it's also called synergy. So two energies come together, they create infinite possibilities, but they also create an egregore, a thought form egregore. It's an entity, so it's like a life of its own. You create another life form in the thoughts, in the energy of co-creation. So yeah, that's a deep one to talk about. I'll do a session just about that eventually. But so there are positive ones, but when we have these overlays on us and these contracts that are on top of us, then they artificially create our default system. I know this is kind of deep. I hope you guys are getting this. So who does this? Who creates the artificial ones? The government? Or I shouldn't probably say that. I'll bleep that out. Who creates these artificial egregores? So massive corporations, political parties. You can find them in sports teams. They don't have a physical body, but they dictate our human behavior. And they survive on loosh. They decide this on our freaking hard-earned energy and our emotions and our human attention and our compliance. Big one. They survive on compliance. So what they also do, there's a neurobiological hack, a neurobiohack hook involved in this. And we process information when the process comes in, it literally goes into neuropeptides. So the information packets that we deliver to ourselves by taking in, the information that we take in on repeat, that we listen to, that we watch, is delivered throughout our entire body. Our system, we feed our system what we're taking in. So if we're taking in collective fear, if you're taking in scarcity, false negatives, this programs our subconscious mind, and it goes out throughout our entire body. Bruce Lipton talks about this. He talks about the biology of belief and how what we're conditioned to believe in fear, all the mongering, or the beauty and the love and the positivity, the equal opposite, is going to be distributed throughout our entire body. Whoa, yeah, we've got a lot of power going on in here and what we focus on. And so the negative stuff, it just, we see it on TV. It actually is like running on default, like parasites. It's so gross. And then it creates our collective consciousness. So what do? We inadvertently make contracts, trades, deals, consents, agreements, unknowingly, that create these egregores right from birth. And this happens by our parents signing signature for us before when we're born. Unimplied consent when you nod or agree or don't speak up when you disagree about something that's come to you. You just even simply using a platform. You could step onto a platform and have an uninformed consent. It could be in the fine print and you don't even see it. All trickery on your behalf. Handlers. So that's a little bit of background. I know that's a lot. Hopefully it makes sense. There's so much more we could talk about on all of that. But I just wanted to give you at least somewhere to look into this to see just that where I'm coming from with the backgrounds on what egregores are, what we're going to be clearing, and why this matters. So in relationships, why does this matter? Because from the very beginning, your birth certificate created an egregore, a thought form entity that is with you throughout your entire life. This is an overlay that is like a filter for every single relationship you ever have, every interaction with your parent, right from your parents. It literally, and there's so many traumas that get introduced right at this beginning of life. And so, yes, this is a whole lot of lineage healing that can happen. There's more to this. There's so many layers of doing the lineage healing, but this is the base layer right at the beginning. I did a whole shit ton of the other layers to come full circle back to the beginning. And I was like, I guess I found the first one last. So now I'm actually ready to share this with you. There's a lot of deep healing to be done. But it can be done fast nowadays. And especially because it's in the collective consciousness. There's a lot of us doing this wild, deep work that it's now available to people. This shit was not even close to available for me. Even a year ago, I had no idea that I had this overlay of shit affecting my life and every relationship I've ever had from the day I was born. There's layers of clearing of the betrayal. There's some emotional stuff to clear and betrayal and frustration. But the best thing we can do that. I'm going to share some stuff on that too. But anyway, let's move on. Let's get started. Take a deep breath. I'm going to tune in. This is a replacement of the Om. This is actually goes back further to some original sound frequencies of creation in this earth that were Lyran ancestry. And I'm going to do a tuning, which is going to bring us down into center and alignment. So taking a deep breath. Pateyuma Ishata Ashelum. All right, this literally means, in translation, let me read it to you. Means the primal spark of creation, the flow of eternal flame, and restoration of absolute equilibrium. So coming into alignment. And now I would like to activate the Lyran Golden Dragon Light Language. Setting the container space. Hakatikiatiko kuna makasasiana ukachakitikia ako kukuchakasasana makatakiatiko akiatiko koyana makakakatikia sasana makatakatikia ako kuna makasasiana makochakoya katikia akiako no sasana makakatikia ko okachaka akiana sasiana okuchakakasasana makatakona makatakia okuchakia ka unamasasiana akiatoko choko. Okay, now we're going to get into the first step, which we are going to activate our I Am Sovereign Declaration. And if you have not already, you can also get a copy of all of this from my PDF ebook that I created. I will have it in the links available for you, and it goes into deeper, more information. It's a full class, but we're going to just do this together so that you have it available to follow along. So you might want to get that, and then you can come back and do this with it as well. Okay. So here we go. You can speak this declaration to align with your true sacred sovereign self in the now present moment. Your sovereignty is declared by true sovereign dominant self alone. No altar, no possession, or any other may usurp this when you state your true intent. Own it to be it. Say it as often as you feel that you need to, or you feel called, especially when you're dealing with dense energies, entities, or influences outside of yourself that do not feel like they have your highest good intent. For deeper understanding of these protocols, you may want to wish to jump onto the protocol session to review more. And here we go. Oh, also, this declaration is really powerful. So it's a way to affirm your true sovereignty, and it reminds you, and you can also use it for your children. There's a version of this and a whole page on how to work with your children on this and when to use it. That it's declaring that your energy and your being belongs to you and no one else. So you can speak these words aloud. I, Jennifer Marie Crow, and the true sacred sovereign source of all source creators that I am. I declare my I am presence of authority. I am the authority over my being, my physical form, my energy structure, and all that I am. Fully aligned and unified with the most optimal, healed, true source, light versions of myself, and eternal sacred sovereign source of all source creation itself. I am free. Nothing may interfere with this, including possessions, altars, or any other interfering energies. I am sovereign and true in the law of one. Okay, and now we're going to get straight into the revocations part. We are now going to revoke the spiritual, energetic contracts, the unknown, unseen contracts that were made without your true conscious consent. This does not revoke anything legally in relation to your birth certificate. It is fully active. This is the part that you actually have the energetic control of and the spiritual control of to declare in the universe. And it then it changes the birth certificate working for you versus you having to work for your birth certificate. It's a lot. And I've studied a lot of sacred sovereign law, so this is what brought me to this in the first place. And also working with psionic healers and my peers. We collaborated, and there was a lot that I got to learn doing that as well. A lot of contracts get made without our consent or uninformed consent, and it can happen eons ago. So you can speak this declaration to permanently dissolve all inorganic birth matrix contracts, false ownership claims, and egregoric overlays bound to your earthly identity. Your energetic template belongs to your true sovereign connection to source alone. No external construct, artificial system, or administrative interception holds authority over your eternal field when you assert this absolute non-consent. Command it to clear it. State this revocation with full cellular authority whenever you sense external matrix loops trying to drain your vitality, harvest your data, or siphon your personal power. So good to be sovereign and free. I invoke my true sacred sovereign dominant self, fully unified with the eternal sacred sovereign source of all source itself. In this present moment, through my own supreme authority and free will, I issue this absolute reclamation and revocation. 1. I here and now revoke, rescind, cancel, and render null and void any and all soul contracts, energetic agreements, consents, or hidden covenants made on my behalf, consciously or unconsciously, through the creation, signing, or registration of my birth certificate. I dissolve any spiritual binding that corporate, legal constructs, or terrestrial matrices have claimed over my sovereign essence, my true name, or my life force energy. I break all agreements and agreements that traded my inherent birthright for false security, artificial status, or systemic protection. I am not property. I am not a corporate entity, and I am not a ward of the state or system. I revoke and remove, sever, and completely untangle my energetic structures from the collective birth certificate Egregore and all associated institutional thought forms of ownership, control, and separation. I strip this Egregore and any entities, altars, or energies operating through it of all access to my physical form, my emotional body, my mental landscape, and my spiritual field, and my energy. And any hooks, cords, trading systems, or energetic tethers connected to the legal document and its energetic blueprint are here and now dissolved into the highest true source light frequencies of the true sacred sovereign source coherence. It is automatically brought into source coherence. I do not have to transmute anything. It is done automatically through the true internal source coherence. I completely clear the residual frequencies of trauma, enslavement, and subconscious memory associated with being owned, managed, or commodified. I dissolve the false beliefs, ancestral imprints, and cellular memories of being separate or abandoned by Source and our family, my soul family. I command all aspects of my subconscious mind to integrate the truth that I am eternally connected, whole, and fully autonomous. I command that all of my life force, energy, soul fragments, and power that were scattered, traded, or harvested through this Egregore be brought into true eternal source coherence and restoring me to my perfect I am alignment. Through true source coherence, I lock, camouflage, and fortress my energy field against all future interference, manipulation, or unauthorized access by any external influence, system, or entity. I am free. I am the sole authority over my being. As I will it, so it is. In the eternal now, and may not be undone without my conscious free will intent. I am sacred and sovereign in the law of one. And so it is. Okay, and there we have the I am Sovereign Declaration and the revocation of your birth certificate, Egregore. I would also like to now let you know how you can work with me and what I am offering now. What am I doing? So as you can see, there's a lot of layers to unpack. If this struck a chord with you, if you feel like, oh my goodness, I really need to go deeper, I want to know more, I am now offering live sessions online. I am offering live Sacred Union Day retreats. They're half day, 3.5 to 4 hours, where we go into deep dive into creating and setting up your sacred union. This is for pre-wedding or post-wedding. It's also for independent relationships that are outside of the marital system. And you can find information about that on my in the links on my social medias and in the description. I'm opening up sessions now, a little bit at a time, welcoming some new clients. And the way to do that is to look at my link tree, look for the schedule, and you can book a free meet and greet session with me, and we can do a quick consult and see if it works for you and what's best for you. So I look forward to sharing more with you. Thanks, guys, so much for being here. Until next time.